Welcome to Tales from the Caveside, where Lillian and Chris, we bought a cave house and finca on the outskirts of a small Spanish town. Follow us as we learn to renovate and create a home that we will be proud of.
On the previous couple of years while we've been here, these trees were tiny and they're growing up quite nicely, and these olives were absolutely tiny. This year they don't seem to be.
There's me saying don't do it with bare hands, but look at the size of those.
They're eating olives. They've got to be.
We think, we've tried to do a bit of research. It's difficult with olives, they all look pretty much the same on photographs.
Right, so that's that one done. There are a few on the floor, but we don't know if they're any good or not, so we'll clear them up later. We've got that many from that tree, and that didn't have that many on it.
No, this tree has got
more.
A lot more. You can tell by the weight of it.
Yes.
Our bucket's not going to be big enough.
No, I think we're going to need a bigger bucket.
Josh.
Okay.
On my little forky machine. Seems like a good idea.
It's very inefficient.
It's very inefficient, and that's easier.
This is a 55 litre tub, and that's one tree and about half of this tree. I think we'll get a few. So what we've got is, this truck has marks on it. That is a 20 litre mark, 30, 40, 50. So we've got approximately 20 litres of eating olives. That means I've got 20 litres of olives to process. Oh, and we missed one. Chris has just found an extra one. Chris don't even like them.
And Chris doesn't even like them. Oh boy.
I like the oil, but I don't like these.
One clean tree, 2 clean trees. An awful lot more olives than I expected. During my research to try and work out what sort of olives we've got on all the various trees, because all the fruit, much as it looks like an olive, different shapes, different sizes, different colours, I have found that apparently you can make olive leaf tea using the fine points off the end of branches. So the latest growth, you can pinch it off, just add it to hot water to make olive leaf tea, which apparently is good for hypertension. So for high blood pressure, it reduces blood pressure. Not tried it personally. Knowing what olives taste like unprocessed, I dread to think what the leaves taste like.
You're going to have to try it.
But I will have to try it just to see, yes. Right, this is our other piece of land on the other side of the road. Oh, these weeds are mad.
Yeah.
Look, we have grass. We have real grass.
Yes. Nearly.
And look how different these are in shape. They look like cherries. They actually, on the branch, look like cherries, look. So we're trying to ascertain what exactly type this is. Obviously they're all good for olive oil, but which ones are the better ones for eating?
Well, no idea.
Oh no.
I don't know such things.
They do really remind me of cherries, the way they hang down, as opposed to the others were on each branch, like bunches of grapes. These hang down like cherries. They just remind me of cherries. They're not. I have tried one, and they're not. They're bitter olives.
Yes. This tree needs a really good hard prune down.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so you're going to just collect a few?
Yes.
Because we have to get a more cloth thing that you put on the floor, shade cloth.
Yes.
Is what everybody uses.
That piece that we've got was here when we moved here, and it's just not big enough for the olives. The olives are far too out and about, far away. As in, almonds are heavy, they drop. Olives hit the ground and bounce away, and you're chasing them around forever.
Yes. And all this real low growth all needs to be got rid of as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And the only other tree that's different that we've got on the land is right down the bottom, at the very point down there, the big old beautiful, I don't know how old that tree is, I reckon hundreds of years, by its trunk. I'll show you, we'll go down there now.
Now that's more real grass.
Yes, that is real grass, isn't it? Lovely.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't mow it.
No, the ground underneath's too, like this, undulating.
Yeah.
This is my favourite tree. And this needs a really good cut. Look at the bottom on the main trunk.
Oh yeah.
But there you go, there's a comparison. So I'll get some of these.
These seem to be the same olives as what we have on the little tree.
Yes. So if you look here, they're almost directly on the branch. So picking 2 off here. This is the shape that's coming off this tree, and like we've just picked up in the top garden. And these 2 are off that other tree. We've just picked a few off the other side. Can you see how they're shaped like cherries, as opposed to what you think of as an olive? It'd be very interesting to know exactly what variety they are, because we've only got the 1 tree of that variety. All the others are this and similar. I say similar because some of them are slightly different by the leaf shape, but the fruit looks very similar. This tree needs a really hard cut back because it's got hardly any fruit on it.
Indeed.
But look at the size of the trunk on it. I adore this tree. I wonder how old he is.
Yes, very old.
Yes.
Right. We'll go back up until we've got the necessary shade cloth to collect olives with. Hopefully that'll be this week.
Yes, I'll go specifically. I've got a few errands to run after work this week. I'll make sure I go and get some shade cloth this week. Okay, so another project that I have, my own personal project for me to do, is welcome to my Harry Potter space, the cupboard under the stairs. It's a mess because we've just it's been make, do and mend. Whatever we've got has been able to go in here. So on this side, I have my PC on an old camping table. Originally in here it was an old kitchen and there was worktops in here, but they were, I don't know whether you can see with the camera, at this height here, there was a shelf there that actually goes down. I can't put a worktop at that height to make a desk because then this would have to come that much further forward to not interfere with this. So I'm going to have to construct something at this height. What? I haven't decided yet, other than it's going to have to go from there to hold the PC. And the other side, storage of some description. Again, haven't really decided what, just sort of looking around on the internet to see what's available, what isn't, what I can get from second-hand stores, what I can't. That shelf that's there now is an original marble one that they've actually painted really badly, and that all needs scraping off to make it look nice. We have got this white cable here. We specifically got a flat one. It's actually for the PC. It's actually a flat cable, so I'm going to get Chris to run it from the machine flat along the wall so I can basically hide it. But I think I could actually make a really nice space in here for my cupboard under the stairs, for my little office. Just haven't quite decided how to go with it. So any ideas? Chuck them this way. I'm all for ideas. I'm on Pinterest every single night looking for ideas. But most people, when they do these cupboards under the stairs, they do the angled bit for storage and put a desk in the flat where the flat area is. But that won't work in here. Because if I put a desk here, then the chair would be in the doorway here. And say I was having a Skype call or something with somebody, I'm actually also interfering with the rest of the house or the living room. The idea is to have it more in that area. So yeah, any ideas, chuck them this way, I'd appreciate them. Well, these are last year's, well worth doing, and I preserved them in olive oil. I love olives. Chris doesn't, so I go to all this trouble just for me.
Yeah, but I like the oil.
Yes, I know.
The size difference from last year's to this year's.
Yeah.
Have they got stones in?
I didn't stone these. Since doing these, I got a little machine. It's not a machine. I got a cherry pipper, I guess you'd call it. And that's what I intend to do for the next ones. These are delicious. I could eat all of them in one go. I'd probably feel sick afterwards, just a bit like Loki, but they are lovely.
Be my guest.
I will. Thank you very much. Yeah, the size difference is quite something, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I preserved these, all I did was slice them to break the skin, and then they were brined for a little while, and then they were preserved in olive oil. Absolutely perfect. And the oil is really nice as well. You would actually like the oil. It's taken on more of a, okay, this is going to sound really crazy, more of a olivey flavour than when you actually buy the olive oil. That sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the extra virgin olive oil, was it? That was just like olive oil.
Yes.
For storing olives in, as opposed to using the really good stuff. But I do notice may or may not be some of my smoked almonds over there.
There are some of your smoked almonds over there.
Yes. There are a few left.
There are a few left. I may have to munch crunch those myself. There's the honey in the bottom, they need mixing a wee bit.
Yes.
Look how cold it is, the honey's set pretty much.
I'll just try them, because you never know, they might have gone off by now.
Might be poisonous.
Just look at that thick, juicy honey.
Honey everywhere now.
No, they haven't gone off. It's
Have they not
amazing.
gone off?
No.
As long as you haven't died of poisoning.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm going, I'm on my way. So, those olives are better than they were when they was fresher.
Yes. When I first did them and first stuck them in the oil to preserve them, they were okay. But as I said, these are last year's olives and now they are delicious. Really, really nice. The flavour has been enhanced, whatever. I don't know. They're delish.
Okay. So now you need to find yourself a thing to brine those other olives in. I guess you're going to go for all of those olives?
Yes, but I just need somebody to tell me as to whether I should be doing all the olives from the 2 trees up here or whether I should be doing the cherry ones. I haven't got space to do 2 separate experiments, if you know what I mean. I don't know which ones to brine. The cherry ones or these ones. These ones, I think, because these ones are these and I know I like them.
Yes.
But all of those, I haven't got a container that big.
Aha. But yes, you have. I'll
Have
get
I?
you it.
Okay. What have we got?
You bought this for doing the lime putty in.
I did.
And we've already used one for lime putty, and then since discovered that it was a bit of a silly thing because you can't really get access to it in here, and this is filthy. But this is food grade.
And brand new.
And brand new.
Okay.
So, there you go. I'll go play on Skyrim.
And I'll pip olives. Thanks.
One keeps
That's
me
my
out of
life.
mischief, and the other one keeps you out of mischief.
Yeah, but I do think that actually that somehow I'm working again some more. I suppose it is for my own benefit. Right. Good idea. See if we can implement it.
We've had a week of really, really windy weather here. Right. I need to do some strimming. We've got a strimmer that we bought a while ago, and it hasn't been used for about 1.5 years. So it's a bit dusty. It's in bits, and Dover's never seen it before. And doesn't like engines, so we'll have to see how he is. Previously, when we had the garden done, we paid somebody else to do it, and it was extraordinarily expensive. And the reason being was because it had been so wet and everything had grown so crazily, our little machine wouldn't have been able to handle it. So we got a local company in to do it all, and they have the more industrial machines with metal wire as opposed to just the nylon stuff that we have. So before it gets too bad this time, I'm going to get and try and do it. Now, petrol here has a funny green tinge to it. I guess it's easier to see. Anyway, it's got the oil in it. I'll give it a good mix. As we know, 2-stroke oil and petrol mix really, really well. Shame it's not Castellar. Oh, that would smell nice while I was using the machine. And as usual, I spilt some. There is a funnel for it somewhere as well, but I can't find it. It may have been broken actually. Right, got to remember how to use this. Choke. There's a runs. I think that's it. Okay. Right, give it a couple of turns. Man yourself over. Okay, so it doesn't want to start. I better check the spark plug. Okay, so the pull cord mechanism's also stuck now. So I'm going to address that first. I think it's just because it's all dried out inside and it just maybe just needs greasing. So I get that cover off. This could turn into a let's watch Chris break something. So I need to remove all this cover to get to this bit just here. Okay, so I've got the cover off. I've took the spark plug out. So it's all right, and it hadn't flooded, so that's good. Okay, so I'll get that back together in a minute, but first I want to address this little thing. Now, I've never taken one apart, so I'm hoping it doesn't sort of like explode everywhere. Oh dear. Lillian did say it wouldn't start, and unfortunately it would seem she's right. It would seem that the string had got loose somehow and had wrapped around here. This is the pulley that you use, and it goes in there. I don't know how it managed to get wrapped around, so now I need to try and put it back together again without it getting wrapped around and hope that it works this time. I'd have thought there'd been another guard. Anyway, let's see what I can do. Ha ha! I just pulled it out because the string, because I thought that's just not right. What had happened is it actually come off and wrapped around this mechanism instead. Brilliant. So I pulled it out and now it returns, and that's how it should look. Right, back together, quick. It's back together. I gave it a couple of pulls without a spark plug in it, and it turned and returned, but the return mechanism's not very good. May have to look for having a replacement one. I don't know why it's messed up, but we'll see. So, spark plugs in, tractor going by, slowly. Right, let's see what happens. So, without the airbox on, you can see the chokes there. Very, very rudimentary choke. Everything seems to be okay. Fingers crossed. Right, let's put this down and see what happens. Okay, set to run, hand on there. Oh yes! That's awesome. But the return there, the pulley thing, don't want to go back properly. Right, I'll put it back together again. Right, I just checked on its the shaft where the two pieces interface. It looks a bit dry, so I am going to put a little bit of grease there. It's probably not necessary, but my head says it is. So I'm sure it's better than it not, if you know what I mean. Right, let's see if it spins. Right, dogs are all out the way. Yes, okay. So nobody's going to get hurt. Perfect. I've just got a dog coming down to inspect what all the hubbub was about. So obviously I instantly turned it off. Brilliant. God, go happy me. That's another job done. Okay, so I shall take this little bit off, find some grease, put some grease in it. There was actually another part that I'd forgotten. Right, so I've been through it all and I'd forgotten. I needed to check the grease that was in there, and it's all fine. It corroded the little bolt that was there. So obviously I had to be careful not to shear it off. That took a little bit of work, but penetrating fluid does the job. I was tempted to use WD-40, but I used proper penetrating fluid instead, just to be sure. So that's all alright, because it goes into an aluminium thing here, and the metal differences can occasionally cause issues. Anybody who's ever snapped off a bolt or a screw in an aluminium piece will know all about it. So it's always best to, when you put them back in, just put a little bit of a bit of graphite. To be fair, I didn't have any graphite, so I used pencil lead, and that's how I do spark plugs as well. When I'm changing spark plugs on my motorbike, always have a soft pencil, because I don't have graphite to hand, and just run it around the threads of the spark plug and get a nice coating on there, and it goes in and it comes out perfect. I didn't do it to the spark plug because I never thought about it, and it's not a particularly weather finding area, if you know what I mean. Not like when you're cutting grass or weeds, everything at that end is all exposed to the moisture and the saps and everything. And on a motorbike engine, 9 times out of 10, when it rains, you're going to get water up there, and it just corrodes. So there you go, a little bit of a useless thing. Another thing that I was taught by somebody, and that knowledge has been retained since I was about 16. Wow, it's amazing what my brain remembers when it wants to. Anyway, right, I'll go and find the safety equipment now, ear defenders, mask, and I'll get the little strappy belt thing done up, and then we'll have a go. But I'm going to wait till Lillian comes home. She won't be too long, because I want the dogs inside while I just do up here. And if I lock them in and they're on their own, they tend to get a little bit annoyed, or should I say a little bit upset. We're still trying to teach Dover it's okay to be left for a short period of time without him getting too stressed. I mean, look at this, look at that. Yes, you with your saggy face. You wouldn't believe it, would you? He hates it when he's left on his own. He doesn't care anymore. He's quite happy to do his own thing. But look at that. Let sleeping dogs lie and all that. Look at him. He loves it outside, don't you? Yes, I know. Soppy soul, aren't you? Yes. He's a good boy. I'm going to shut up now and let you go sleep. Good lad.